chair and charities are all over the room. The children have painted these chairs themselves. And on some of them you can see the photographs of them painting them. So you'll see fingerprints, you'll see some names, you'll see whatever. Now the chairs are at different tables. They're also over here, like this chair right here, a chair there, they're back there. So please don't miss one, because these kids had such a great time wanting to give you a great time and letting you know how much they appreciate your help. So thank you very much. Please feel free to browse around and put your name. The auction papers are right on the seats along with some of the pictures. Okay? Yes.
She did a nice job. That was very good. She also has to do karaoke later on tonight. Now, everybody has a lanai. That's exactly what these chairs were made for. So everybody should go home with one.
I want to put the cap on. Take a shot. Take a shot of some water. Take a shot of the room. Over here.
Of course, I appreciate all of you coming out and supporting our cause. I'm just going to tell you a little bit about Fostering Hope, and then we're going to play a video. I'll tell you about the video. The video was made by Children's Rights, which is an organization that fights on behalf of children that are in the child welfare system. And I contacted them. They heard about what Fostering Hope was doing here, and they sent me their video and said, use it in whatever way works for you. So that's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to use their video to kind of give you an idea of what it's like from the point of view of a child that's in foster care. There's been many changes over the ages, and I hope that we show that here in the video and in our community. So first I want to tell you why I'm standing here right now. Why Fostering Hope? The first encounter that I ever had with a young man that was in foster care, I was about 6 years old. And I said, who is that boy? And he was sitting by himself. He had a sad look. He was probably about maybe 14 years old. Clothes didn't look right. Something just wasn't right. Even with a 6-year-old, you could notice something wasn't right. And that boy stayed in my mind my entire life, and stories like that I've encountered on and off. And everything I've learned about child welfare and everything I learned about doing things right, I learned from a child. So the answer to my question was this: he is a foster child. Literally, it sounded like a dirty word to me. And I thought to myself, I'm glad I'm not one. And that takes me to where we are now. This video, and we're going to play it for you. And I'll tell you that I've had a lot of experiences in my life with children in foster care. And when I started Fostering Hope, the reason that I started it is because I thought, that doesn't make sense. Why did we remove this child from their family and now he's miserable? That child was actually being used like indentured labor. This was the 1960s. We've come a long way, but we got a long way to go. Because the children that I meet now, I see siblings that are separated because we don't have big enough foster homes with enough care on them to keep them together. We see children aging out with no support system. We see children that don't have their high school diploma and are out in the world trying to survive. And that's why Fostering Hope's slogan is a sensible approach to foster care. Because it just doesn't make sense to take children out of abusive and neglectful situations where their family is not able to provide for them, and then to put them in another situation that kind of re-victimizes them. There's a lot of people in this room that are working to make that change, and we have a lot of great changes. And I'm going to just go ahead and play the video, and we have some of our people in the room are going to come up and say something, so please try to be really quiet, because I'm kind of used to the microphone, but not everybody is, and so I really want you to hear the message because it's really important. Again, thank you, and I'm going to go ahead and let them start the video. Somebody who knows what button to push, because it's not me.
Giving away 'cause nobody missed them. Just another kid coming through the system. They didn't ask for this life that we gave them. I'm telling you, we gotta be the ones to save them.
Let's get it this time.
I am a lifeguard.
I am a community organizer.
I am a college graduate of the University at Albany.
I am a personal development coach. I am a basketball player.
I am a retired state bail commissioner.
I am a salesperson.
I am the microphone master.
I am a former foster child.
I am a former foster child.
I am a former foster child.
Foster care for me was my own personal jail.
It was not a day in that house that I went without getting hit.
Any way a person could be abused, I knew what it was.
My foster mother was illiterate. I have no idea how she got foster kids.
I was among children who had just got out of jail, bad kids who did bad things, but I was there just because my dad had died.
I was separated from my brother, and it was very traumatic for me.
I was beat with such a rage. I've been burned, my ribs fractured.
I got hospitalized twice, and when I was in that hospital, that was like heaven. I did not want to leave the hospital.
There were always lots of men around, and there were things that went on, and
I saw all type of drugs being used, people putting needles in their arm.
the caseworkers would come and go before you ever even knew who they were.
The social worker never asked me how I was doing.
We were told never to say anything.
Right now, there are nearly 500,000.
500,000.
500,000 abused and neglected children
in foster care across the U.S.
I think the one thing that could have made a difference in my life when I was younger is if the foster care system thoroughly investigated who they were giving children to.
But it would be good if you had that one person that would step up for you.
I'm sure the right person, if they had known what was going on, could have intervened and done something to help me.
We just wanted love. That's all we want. It doesn't matter how angry I acted. Do you think I wanted you to react in anger? No, I wanted you just to hug me.
If there had been some preparation for me to age out of the system, I was 18 and on my own, and that was a disaster.
25,000 young adults
age out
of foster care
every year.
Every year.
Every year.
Without families.
Without homes.
Without hope.
I am one.
I am one.
I am an attorney who fights for abused and neglected children in this country.
I am one who stands up for foster kids.
We are former foster parents.
We are adopted parents.
I am an advocate. I am also a former foster youth. I am one of the fortunate ones. I had people who stood up for me.
We stand up for tens of thousands of abused and neglected children across the United States every single day.
We felt it was a responsibility as an American to come forward and help a child.
Children's Rights uses the power of American courts to force failing foster care systems to do what's right for kids. We make sure kids are not just dumped into foster care and left there to languish. That foster children go home to safe, permanent, and loving families, which should be every child's right.
This is a war. We are fighting for our future. We are fighting for our children.
There are so many ways that you can get involved. There are so many ways that you can make a difference in young children's lives.
You may not be a foster mom, but I can tell you what you can be. Be a change agent. Change the world and change the life of a child.
I am one.
I am one.
I am one who stands up for foster youth.
I am one.
I am one. I am one who stands up for children's rights.
I am one who stands up for children's rights.
Children's rights stepped up. The parish family stepped up.
Now it's time for everyone to step up.
I am one.
I am one.
I want you to be one too.
I want you.
I want you.
I need you to be one too.
Be
1,
2. There were 5 of us. We went to 3 different homes. Okay. My sisters and I were 5. My brother was 18. I'm on the board of directors for Fostering Hope Level, and we need your help tonight. Thank you.
Okay, I'm George Gilbertson. I live in Spring Hill, and I was one of 10 that was put in foster homes. My mother had died. I was probably 40 years old. And I can remember sitting in front of our house on a telephone pole in the driveway while people came and picked us up. One went this way, one went that way. My sister, she was 16, and she was the mother for a year, year and a half. And the worst part was not seeing the rest of them. Me and my brother, that's a year older than I, were on the same farm. And we went there on a Friday. Saturday, we walked around and looked at the farm and everything. Sunday morning, we were in the barn for milking. They had 48 cows that they milked, and I was 5. I couldn't do the milking, but I could clean out from under the cows, and that's the way it went for 13, 14 years. They were a little bit abusive, but they done the best they could with what they had. But the hardest thing was not seeing the rest of the family. We adopted 3 when we did foster care because they were going to split them up. I had no intentions of adopting. But instead of them going through what I went through, we adopted 3 siblings. And I'm all hands-on with Gloria and the Hope Houses, because that's a chance to keep these kids together. And I am one. I lived in foster care until I was 16, 17 years old, and I wound up going into the military to get out of it. But I have a foster parent, and I'm also an adoptive parent of 4. I have 11, 9, 6, and 3. And everybody should try it. My house, I should be empty nest right now, but I'm not. I'm 66 years old, and I got a 3-year-old. I got to stay here.
Good evening, everyone. I went to foster care in February 9th of 2009. I was 16. And my first foster home was in a trailer house that was literally smaller than this room right here. And there was 5 kids, including me. And we shared 3 bedrooms, which included a garage that's converted to bedrooms. The place was so bad that, by the 5th month I was like, I'd rather be in a shelter than be in a foster home. And this particular foster home, at least. Thankfully that didn't happen, and I aged out at 18. Wasn't exactly easy. The state would throw you the stipend and say, okay, you're on your own, pay your rent, etc., etc. We didn't get the training that we needed to be on our own. So many foster kids failed within the first few months. I was one of the lucky ones. I had the support of Gloria and Jerry and a lot of friends that helped me through college. So I'm still a student, and I'm studying to become an aerospace engineer. And I'll be working for the Air Force in a few years.
How's it going, guys? I'd like to apologize. I'm a little unprepared. I really tried to prepare myself. I wrote a couple pages, but nothing really seemed to fit right. I guess I'll just start it off randomly. I've been to foster care twice. Once down in Key West, once here in Pinellas Park. Key West one really wasn't that bad. I was in there for about 2 years. We ended up going back to our mother. Things were all right for about the first month or so. Things were back to normal. DCF came back and we fled here to Pinellas Park. And Eventually I went to school. We ended up getting a fight. Long story short, I went to jail. I let them know what was happening. And I apologize, one second. Alright, I went into foster care for the second time. I've been to maybe about 5, 6, 7 different homes. First home was pleasant, the other 5 I really couldn't say much. If I wasn't sleeping outside, I would either be inside. I was locked away a lot of the time. I guess you could say I was a problem child. I liked to fight, I liked to get into trouble, just anything. To get away from my thoughts and situations. Like I said, if I wasn't outside, I was either in there. I've had a lot of foster parents try and fight me. I've had a lot of situations arise. I always tried to tell caseworker. Caseworker never really wanted to help, never really wanted to fix the situation. And you know, growing up in the foster care, it's really not easy. You try to have people there for you, you try to have someone to look up to, somewhere to go, and it really just isn't all that. When I had turned out to be 16 or 17, I got adopted by my aunt. The situation went bad. I was thrown out on the streets at 17. I got a job. I was living on my own. I started rooming up with people, paying a little bit of rent, putting out anything I could, and doing fine for about 2, 3 years. I was like 16, 17 when I got kicked out. I'm 19 now. I'll be 20 in 4 months. Situation got bad. I just couldn't attend school. I'd rather work than go to school, try and make a little bit of money, stay on my feet. Situation got bad. I lost my job, and I had to sign myself into a homeless shelter where I'm currently still staying. You know, I mean, the situation really could have been averted. There could have been someone there to help me. Unfortunately, there wasn't. So I'm just trying to get back on my feet, you know, about maybe 2 weeks.
Okay, Brandon, because now we're one. We have people here that are all going to support you.
Okay, I'm not brave enough to go through the detail. All I can say is foster care made me and did not break me. I am determined to dig back through all of that stuff and go face those people, and changes just have to be made. I really can't complain. It hurts a lot, but there's a lot of strength that came from that hurt that I feel like I have a lot to share, and God bless each and every one of you who stepped up and pushed forward and stayed up with the crying ones and the ones that just cut all out and hard to understand our grief. But thank you for everything you did with patience and everything else that comes with it. Thank you.
Hello. When I was 10 years old, my 3 siblings and I were placed in the Florida foster care system. We were told to pack up a few days' worth of clothing and that we would be home in a few weeks. The weeks turned into years, and all 4 of us aged out of the foster care system. We were unable to go back to our biological home to get some of our memorable items that I wish I could still have to this day. I am now a program coordinator with Fostering Hope Florida, helping to make a difference in future foster children's lives.
I'm a house parent for Fostering Hope. I was in foster care for 6 years. My brother and I were separated from our other 2 siblings. We were bounced from home to home for 6 years. We went to 13 different homes in 1 year, and we were adopted. We didn't really get much of anything. And then I kind of made it my goal to become a foster parent myself.
Good girl.
Being in foster
adopted and biological kids better. I would rather have stayed at my house with my parents that loved me, even though we didn't always have food in our house.
I kicked her out of my house because of that. She's always late.
She's always late. Come on now.
I'm the one who's always late. Marisol's always on time because she didn't like when she was in foster care. Every place that she would go, she would show up late and it would be hard for her. So she's teaching me to be on time. Hasn't worked yet. But then I taught her to drive and she still can't park because I can't park.
Hi, my name is Marisol and I was in foster care and I went through too many homes to count, went to too many schools to count. It was really hard because I could barely see my sisters because they were all too far away. Never got to really see my mother either. They always came up with an excuse as to why we couldn't have our visitations. Just been through a lot, lost a lot of stuff, never had anything to really call my own. It was just really hard not having anybody. I have an amazing kids, I have an amazing foster mom, and I'm just so happy and blessed to have them in my life.
Yes.
I am a spokesperson for Fostering Hope Florida on behalf of children in foster care, but she can't get to that. She's amazing, and we're starting a new program, Fostering Connections, trying to connect adults to children that are in group homes, and she is the face of that. She's on her little bookmarks out front. If you see it, that's Marisol when she was in foster care. She now just is a new homeowner too. And,
Never would have thought I would be up here saying I am one. I am a foster alumni here in Pinellas County, and often you would wonder if when you're in foster care, would you make it on the other side? And I guess I'm proof, along with all the other ones who have come up here to say we are one. We are one that often our parents, those who have used us, at that point, we didn't feel as though we were one. But because it took one person in my case to show me that there is people out there who can build us up, regardless of the people who try to build us down. And it's easy for us to even follow the footsteps of our abusers, follow statistics and either be a statistics of being back in an abusive relationships, situations, or we can be overcomers. Well, I can say for 27 years, I followed my mom's footsteps. I left foster care to escape homelessness. I married into a domestic violent marriage. For the grace of God and social work and deciding that that was my path that I needed to take, that was my way of escape. And I can't say that I regret being in foster care. I can't say that I regret 27 years of being abused, because I am one to a little boy back there as a foster child that's in my home. Yeah. I'm a social worker. I'm also an author for almost a year now as Unbreakable Spirit Arises. Why did I choose that title? Because in life circumstances, we can choose to be broken or we can choose to build ourselves up. And I, for one, refuse to be broken.
Yeah.
So,
those who have chosen to be a part of the I Am One Army to see me in the table. I'm doing book signings for Unbreakable Spirit Arises. It is $10 for the book with a personal message. Why is the book important? Because I use the book in the communities through foster children, foster parents, adoptive parents, children in high schools. Even my program, I am a director of a homeless youth program. So my book goes all over, and it's not only in the state of Florida. I have traveled to Georgia, and I continue to travel until the day I die. I'm one.
Everybody who came out there and bared their soul to tell everybody what it's like in their community. They never want to be one if we were all there for them. And that's what I'm asking you to do now. I am the founder of Fostering Hope Florida. I am one who's standing up for children. We're not, in our homes, we're not separating siblings. In our homes, we're making sure that children have a place to stay throughout their time in foster care. We're orchestrating their reunification with their families. We're orchestrating their adoptions. We're sticking with them till the end so that they can get through this. And we're keeping all those memories in life books so that when they leave us, they didn't lose a piece of their history. We're doing all the kinds of things that make sense, the things that any good family would do. That's the family that we want for our foster community. When children suffer, our community suffers. And the ripple effect, the repercussions are way into the future. Same when we are one and we do something for them. When everybody reaches out and makes us a better world for the children in our community. We have people in this room right now. How many people in this room are in social work, foster parent, child advocate, guardian ad litem? Can you please stand up? Let's see who you are. And everybody else in this room, we got something for you that you can do to help this community so that we can all be one, so that no other children suffer while they're in foster care. We're not going to take children out of this abusive situations and put them into other situations where they're abused again. Laura Lynn right here is making big changes in Pinellas County. She's the Director of Licensing for Community Alternative. She's making a difference regarding the LIDA program. I see Angela's for foster parent, and we've got foster parent, adoptive parents. We've got all these people in this room that are making a difference already. If you can't think of a good way to make a difference, I have a little brochure on the table. Just sponsor one of our kids or our houses. With that little bit of money, we can make sure that they have all the extra things, all the things that we would give to our own kids, all the things you give to your kids. So that's how you can help. You can tutor, you can mentor, you can become a foster parent, you can adopt a child out of foster care, or our new program is called Fostering Connections. What we're really looking for is people who would like to mentor a child that's currently in a group home so that when they age out, they don't struggle like Brandon did. They don't struggle like anybody else that I'm allowed to say their name, raise their hand, because I don't want to call anybody out. Elena, Nicole. We want people to be able to support them as they travel into adulthood, to help them to make the decisions that they need to make, to spend their money wisely, and to stay in a secure, stable environment, to be able to complete their education, to be able to be a very important thing, great parents of our future. So thank you, everybody. Anything that you can think of that you might make you one? Anybody here want to be one? Anybody want to be one part of the solution? I want you to be one. Thank you, everybody. Whatever way you can think of, come to us. We'll find a way to make you part of the solution.
Okay, let's hear it for Miss Gloria. What do you think? That was very nicely done. Now, I believe she's got one of her beautiful helpers here that's doing a 50-50 drawing this evening. Now that we've touched your hearts, we're going to touch your wallet just a little bit. I don't remember who it was, but I remember this woman was gorgeous, as all of you ladies are. But we're doing a 50-50. It's Becky. Quiet, shy Becky's doing it. So you're going around with the basket, and anything else I need to tell him? Noella's doing it too. Ever since I talked about beautiful Noella, she jumped right up too. So, talk about me. You know something? I want to take you right back here and just make out for an hour. Oh, is this still on? I'll give you an hour on the mic.
Fostering Hope, Florida is a group of dedicated people. My name is Patty, by the way. I'm on the board.
Patty, by the way.
By the way.
Hey, Patty.
We started this group with love, with a lot of work, and a lot of years. We are currently carrying 3 mortgages for 3 houses that we have purchased to house these foster parents and foster children in. Money doesn't come easily to anybody, and we've been through some rough times. We're winners. You heard the stories. We're part of these stories. We're giving the kids hope, and that's why we call each one of these homes hope houses. So why are you here? You're here because you care. And because you care, open up your pocketbooks, open up your wallets, give out your credit card, and help us support these kids. They need us, they need you. And I love all of you for coming. Thank you so much.
What do you think? All those brains and beauty too. Now we're going to turn the lights up again a little bit so you can see these items around the room, especially these beautiful chairs that these children have done. Please put your name on one tour, put your name on everything. Makes you feel like you're famous writing your autograph down.